and welcome back to Anonymators Review, where today we're going to be talking about Mad Max Fury Road. I know we usually talk about, well, preferably we talk about animation here, but I just love this movie so much, I just had to talk about it. I'm Wesley Boone.
I'm Emily Strasser.
And yeah, let's begin.
Shall we start with you just fanboying over it?
Okay, well, firstly, the thing that stood out in this movie for me was the cinematography. Mm-hmm. The cinematography was amazing throughout. Like, there was not one shot in the movie that wasn't a possible computer background. You know what I mean? It's like everything, every frame. I rewatched one of my other favorite movies more recently, Avengers, and that's not there. You know, I mean, sure, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of excitement. There are one or two poses that, or frames that could really do that, and that could be said because that's how I'm watching movies now. After watching Mad Max, I watch a movie. I'm like, these scenes aren't beautiful. Like it's just, and that's every single thing was beautiful. Every pose, every angled shot, you could probably take any frame out of that reel and use it as a potential. The reason why I use computer background, I mean, I'm not saying that's the gold standard, but it's what I use to sort of describe like how much I really like looking at something, because I like my backgrounds on my computer to look nice. Mm-hmm. So it's that's what it was. Every one of those frames could be a possible portrait or painting. I guess portrait's more person, but you know what I mean. It was beautiful. The color was amazing. I mean, there's those nighttime scenes. Those nighttime scenes were amazing, mostly because I could actually see what was going on. Mm-hmm. Nighttime scenes are always so very, very dark blue, or and then they've always got this like bright light just shining on somebody. Mm-hmm. This was just like, okay, look, we know it's nighttime because it's dark, there's the sky and everything, but it's not. It's just this blue tint over everything. You could still see what was going on. So obviously there was lighting effects and everything going over it, and they just put like a blue filter over it.
It kind of struck me actually as very comic booky. Those nighttime scenes, especially, just because like. Well, I mean, the whole movie reminds me of how people shoot graphic novel films to do this, like, very... I don't know. I guess it depends on the graphic novel, but I
can see where you're going from, especially some... I mean, if you think like Frank Miller-style comic books, right? Where it's all black and white, but then there's a splash of red here and there.
Yeah, because, like, the color scheme was incredibly consistent, except for the nighttime scenes, which were incredibly contrasted against these very, saturated...
complementary colors, right? I mean, the whole world is orange, right? The whole color scheme of Mad Max is orange and a little bit of brown. It's not like it's brown in dystopia, like shit brown and gunmetal grey. That wasn't there. Yeah. It was this bright orange in the desert scenes, and then... at nighttime, there's like this blue, and I mean those are complementary colors, aren't they? So, and then even when they use light sources for the characters, like, and especially to highlight the female characters, there's that orange aura, and I thought that was, I mean, just that alone to me was just worth rewatching. I've seen this movie twice at this point, and I could easily watch it again.
I remember the first time you came home and you just like. What was it? My roommates asked you about, how was Mad Max? And you just, like, exploded into, like, this was the best movie I've ever seen.
I want to say that. I'm having a hard time remembering, I'm having a hard time remembering a movie I've enjoyed as much. It's as you know, one of my other favorite movies is Speed Racer. Mm-hmm. And not because, I mean, the story is not great or anything, but... It's a fun romp, but what always gets me in Speed Racer is color. Like, if you want me to love something, use color really well. Mm-hmm. And I just fawn over it. I go crazy. But there's not one thing I can really say on this movie that I really, really disliked to the point of me hating it, or disliking it, I love the color. I love the cinematography, like, definitely the top two. The music was amazing. There was not one bit of, and the action as well. Like, this movie is just a string of climaxes, and sure, for a lot of people that's probably not a thing that you'd want to watch. I mean, some people like to watch, I just want to watch a story of two people falling in love. Great. Me, when you have like just one car chase, and this movie's just one long car chase. Really, that's just what it is.
Basically is.
I mean, it starts off with Mad Max standing on a cliff, eating a two-headed lizard, and then running away in a car. He hops in his car and they chase away. That's how the movie starts, as a car chase scene. Then he's running away from other bad guys. Then he's strapped to a car who's chasing a big rig. Then they're in the big rig running away. You know, it's like this constant, like they're just constantly moving, and I love that. To me, I love actiony movies. You know, I love content. It's why I loved Avengers 1 so much. Was it started off with a huge climax already, like the sinking of a base, like a scientific lab, an underground lab that just gets warped. You know, it starts off with Loki already getting somebody to betray the people and running off with their stuff.
When I was taking creative writing, we called it the bear at the door, where essentially it's like, oh, I'm going to start off the story. I open the door. There's a bear. Ah, that's how the story starts.
that's pretty much it. And it's just like every scene after that was better than the last scene.
Yeah.
Like before even the climax against the aliens, like before they get to New York, it was already pretty intense.
We're talking about Avengers, not
Mad
Max. There are no aliens in Mad Max.
Yeah, so and then when you get to the final fight, there's 2 final fights. You know, the one before the Hulk gets in and the one after, and the last one is even better than the one that happened, and that's crazy, right? And that to me was just like a hell of a fun movie. Same thing in Mad Max, just every sequence was better and more exciting than the last sequence. Even the final car chase scene, like the final part where they're, you know, no spoilers, but where they're reverting, I guess. It doesn't give anything away. It doesn't even explain what I want to say. But there's a scene at the end where it's like you don't think it could get any more exciting because it's just been super exciting the whole time, and it was really intense. And the world building was, Mad Max already had a really good established world, right? And I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Thunderdome. I didn't really mind it. It was what it was. I never saw Mad Max 1 until recently when we watched it on TV.
I mean, I only really watched parts of it because we didn't watch the whole thing, right?
I watched it later.
Oh, okay.
Mad Max 1 and 2, and like I was always under the impression, I don't know, I was under the impression that Road Warrior was the first one and Thunderdome was the second one. I didn't know there was a first. I don't know why. It just never clicked in my head. So I missed that first one. So when we were watching it, I was like, this isn't Mad Max, but it looks like Mad Max. What's going on? And then I realized, oh, it's Mad Max 1. Yeah, so, and that's the great thing about this movie. I mean, it's like, what, how many years since Thunderdome? Like almost 20 years since Thunderdome? Maybe even longer, I wouldn't really even know. But basically what happened is, and I don't even think they acknowledged Thunderdome in this one, because they acknowledged Road Warrior, and they, like, because in the beginning sequence, like, there's just a black screen and there's Max, like, narrating, and he's like, well, I was a cop, and then I became a road warrior, and now I'm here, type of thing. There's, like, no acknowledgement of Thunderdome. And, that to me is pretty great, because it's not like they spent half an hour of the movie re-establishing Max's character. It's like, okay, here's 30 seconds of who I am. If you want to know more, watch the other movies. And that should be the standard for movies. Like, I don't want to re-watch Spider-Man 2 and re-hear the story of Uncle Ben dying. Or I don't want to watch, you know, like, whatever movie. Because they revert back to, oh, what did you do in the last movie exactly? Oh, right, okay. And that's me, of course. I've actually spoken to some people who don't like that type of thing. They want to sort of be caught up because they want to know what's going on. And I get it, but at the same time, it's like, there is a movie that you can go watch to catch up on, you know.
Well, for me, having never seen the original Mad Maxes, it was always one of those things, I don't know, people tell me you should really watch Mad Max, and I just never did. It's one of those things that, I'll get
you almost missed this one, too.
Yeah, because I'm very picky about my action movies. I don't want just 2 hours of high testosterone, no breathing room action. I want an actual story. Like, I want to feel like I give a crap about what it is the hero's doing. That's why I'm so picky about my action movies. Because if it's just probably no one's ever seen this except me, but there is a Gerard Butler film that came out a few years ago called Gamer. The only reason I know about it is because I was actually extra for it, but I didn't make the final cut, so don't go looking for me. And don't even,
I've seen this movie, I'm not a fan of it.
The film was terrible, and the reason I didn't like it was because it was pretty much, it was like you get kind of a quiet scene from the get-go where one guy's sort of having a mental breakdown before the action even starts, and then like it's pretty much 2 hours of action, no breathing room whatsoever. It feels suffocating to me.
Well, do you feel the same way about Mad Max?
I did
this one at least.
I did in the beginning a little bit, where it was just like scene after scene after scene and very little breathing room, but then like halfway through the film you had a little bit of breathing room, and then you kind of catch up with the story a little bit, more action, get a little bit more breathing room, more action, and it's like, oh, okay, I can see. The cool thing about Mad Max for me was the fact that the world was so vastly interesting that it was like, okay, I'm invested,
Well, that's exactly it. Like, too, he created this massive lore in this world that's really just car chase. I mean, it's like this guy just wanted to make a car chase movie, but I think one of the big lures is how it's like you can see it never gets explained in the story. But you got the produce, like the guy, where Mad Max started. There's the produce, there's the bullet farmers, and then there's the oil town. And obviously each one does, one makes the farm, one makes I can't remember what the farmland was called, but one obviously makes bullets and one makes oil and the other one makes farm goods. And it's obvious that like there's history and everything behind each of these worlds, because they've got like symbols and they've got cultures and they've got all these things, but that's not important. We're here to watch Max do his thing, but we're like it's not just a matter of designing a character and then putting him in a world and then making the world follow around him. It's designing a character and designing a world and then putting that character in that world and then seeing what happens. It's not just...
Basically, like, as I explained to you in this film, Max was essentially the vessel in which we just followed him around in this world, and we got to see little bits and pieces, and I wouldn't be surprised, because this is very common with films, that they make and just writing in general, that they make a lot more to the worlds than we ever get to see on screen or in textbook form, whatever.
Yeah. I like Game of Thrones is great. Well, Lord of the Rings is a great example of this, where there's a huge world out there we never get to see.
Oh yeah.
Unless you go and do the research.
Star Wars too.
Yeah, there's planets and things that even in the extended universes haven't really been fully explored yet. And so the same thing with this. There's definitely and there's so much that died. And you have to sort of think about it. Like, the first time I watched it, like, I was like, oh, I didn't quite get it. Second time watching, where I didn't realize, but I told Emily this, there's this part where they talk about, they're going to cross the salt. Yeah, and it clicked in my head the second time watching it, that was supposed to be the ocean. Because the oceans have dried up. We've destroyed the world to the point there's no more real water, like, sort of coming and going as it usually was. And I guess the water, I think what it's implied is the water has, like, gone underground or something. But yeah, there's no actual ocean. The Earth itself is just barren land.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get it until you said it.
Yeah, I didn't get it the first time either. I was like, oh yeah, the salts. I guess that's just like another name for desert or something. And then I was like, wait a minute. It's so flat, and look at it, and yeah, no, it was definitely barren ocean.
But that's an incredibly, like, that's talent, is to be able to make a world that you see it once and you really enjoy it, you see it again and you get things you didn't see the first time. Like, that's to me, that is incredibly masterful writing.
Yeah.
Is to be able to do things and explain it in such a way that you get it the first time, but then the second time you get it even more. I felt that way with V for Vendetta, where the first time watching it is like, okay, I get the story, and it was really exciting. The second time, third time, fourth time, etc. Every time I watch that film, and I've watched it probably like 15 times at this point, I love it so much.
Yeah. I make a habit to watch it every Guy Fawkes Day.
Oh, me too. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I love that movie so much, because every time I watch it, there's always something new that I missed the time before, or I forgot from previous watchings.
Yeah. So, yeah, again, trying not to spoil anything in this, but we are, I don't know, at this point, it's pretty much just little, obsessions with the, with the show. Like, for example, there's the scene towards the end where, there's these old ladies who join the group.
Oh, the old ladies were great.
And a fun little fact about them is they did most of their own stunts, like the diving and the rolling and the stuff that, the actors would normally do. We're not talking about there's an explosion behind you, dive. That's obviously, those people will actually have stunt. You have to have stunt doubles. For
for insurance purposes.
It's an insurance thing. You don't want to cost, this actor has a face and a name, and you then insure that actor, and then if that actor gets hurt during stunts, they actually lose out on the insurance or something like that. Whereas if that actor dies outside of the movie, they can claim money or something. It's one of those things. But yeah, it's mostly for insurance purposes. You can't really... I remember actually reading an article once where people were bad-mouthing stunt doubles, like, oh, they shouldn't be necessary. And... Oh, no, it was... The article... It's something along the lines of... There was a guy who was praising his stunt double, like, oh, this guy's so amazing. And then people were, like, insulting him.
What?
And yeah, it was, in the comment section. And then like, one person, like, wrote this big thing where he's like, don't you understand the importance of having a stunt double? They explained the whole process. And yeah, I guess another great thing about the internet, right, is even though there's a lot of angry people just shit-facing everybody else, or like, there's still one or two people out there who actually know what's going on, and they're like, oh, well, I'm going to explain it to you quick.
Yeah.
So other than that, there's a lot of practical effects in this film. The whole film is pretty much 90% practical effects. There's like a huge sandstorm in the film. There's no way that's real. We don't have that on Earth.
But that was beautiful.
Oh.
I loved that. Oh man, that
even the sandstorm sequence, right? Riding into the sandstorm.
Oh gosh.
Just think of the frame of the trucks riding into the sandstorm, and the truck and the camera trucking out like that, and then there's that huge sandstorm that's building up and more, and you just see like the sweeping.
Wasn't there lightning in the sandstorm too?
Yeah, and then they go into the sandstorm. It's like the sand is obviously ripping things apart. The motorcycles couldn't go into it; they just get flipped straight over.
Oh yeah, they couldn't even go near it. It was just like, you're done.
There was lightning inside the sandstorm. Fire, what I assume was a firestorm, but I think that's mostly because the truck exploded. But that causes a firestorm. And
which a fire tornado is a real thing, actually.
Yeah, I've seen it. So it's crazy. There's a weird tornado in the ocean that happens.
I think I've heard about it.
I can't remember it right now. But yeah, lots of weird ass tornadoes. Nature is weird.
Tornadoes are weird. Nature is weird. Anyway.
So yeah, there's a couple, and the thing is, one thing I did notice, and I don't know if you feel the same way, is when there was CG, it was obvious.
Really?
There's a sequence right at the end where a car crashes, and this happens throughout the whole movie, by the way. But in this particular sequence, it's where yeah, and so you must have seen the pictures of this night, because everyone's freaking out. There's this guy who's playing guitar, riding on a car. He's attached to a suspender, and behind him are like on this big vehicle, there's like people playing drums and everything, and he's just playing, and that's all 100% practical, no special effects whatsoever. It was an actual two-necked guitar with an attached flamethrower, and it all worked. Like, the story goes that the guy asked, who's the director again? George Miller. George Miller asked for a double neck guitar with a flamethrower attached, and so they designed the original one, I believe, with the flamethrower that could work, because they were going to make it that you put the sound over it. It's like, no, the guitar had to work, so the guy who was playing it could sort of, he was playing the thing. It wasn't just him screwing around. And
this is one thing about the flamethrowing guitar is, I kept wondering, like, in the beginning of the film, I was wondering, why is this a thing? Why
isn't it a thing?
Well, that was essentially like halfway through the film. I eventually decided, okay, all of my questions of why can be answered with why not.
Yeah, pretty much. This movie is just one giant why not. Why don't we have a giant car chase scene? People love car chases. Well, there's a group of people that like car chases, so let's give it to them. But do all these things. And the thing is, like, every single car in this movie was a real car. There was no special effects with the cars.
That's a lot of
every
cars.
Single car that exploded actually genuinely exploded.
Wow.
Blew up, crashed. That's what happened. Those cars were designed to be destroyed. So, a lot of these shots had to be redone, surely, and so there's a lot of extra cars as well.
Oh, dear.
This movie, let's look at the price, how much it cost to make. But my point about the CG...
Oh, budget 150 million, but the box office made 307.8 million.
Yeah, and that's what, like, and that's most likely because these tend to be American box offices, but we'd have to check the stats a bit better. But seriously, this movie made 3 times its, or at least I guess double its money back in the first, it's been 2-3 weeks since the movie came out.
Yeah.
That's box office sales. We haven't even gotten into DVD sales yet, Blu-ray, DVD, Blu-ray, or online purchases, like digital format. Yeah, no, this movie is going to be up there with, I mean, look, they've made their money back, so it's not even a concern.
I mean, for me, who's not really into action films, I was incredibly impressed by, because it's so artsy, and you don't really see that in action films especially.
But I mean, this isn't like your typical grunty action movie, right? There's no like just slugfest punch scenes or guy pulling out a gun or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like every single sort of sequence, every action sequence had beautiful choreography to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that scene where Max is on that suspender thing like that, 100% real.
Yeah.
Like again, like all the stunts were.
I would get so sick on that.
So, but what I mean is like in the scene. Sorry to jump back to the CG part. Is like there's a scene where like the steering wheel flies towards the screen.
Oh yes.
After a car blows up, and it's obvious. It just felt real. I mean, obviously it should have been CG. There's no way. Unless they shot it like 500 times, but. No, this was... It looked CG. Like, after seeing all these other practical, amazing effects, and then the steering wheel sort of, like, flying at you, and it looked weird.
Yeah. Well, we saw it in 3D. You saw it in 3D twice.
And in D-Box the first time.
Oh, yeah, and you were just so excited the first time.
I don't know what D-Box was. I don't know how much of a thing it is elsewhere, but D-Box is this thing in, at least, the Cineplex theatres. It's a chair.
It's a thing. It's a thing back home, too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you can buy the chair for personal use, too. It's a chair that plugs into whatever, and it vibrates and shakes and moves to what's happening in the film. So, like, especially since Mad Max has a lot of roadster cars with a lot of, so a lot of the time, like, the chair just, like, violently shakes. But then when the camera's tilting, it'll tilt with the camera a little bit. And then when the car chases are, like, going real fast, like, the chair sort of leans back. It's
basically a roller coaster ride in a movie
theater. Yeah, right. That's me. I love roller coasters. I love movies. Those are two great tastes. So yeah, it was... Oh, man, let's go watch it again right now.
Honestly,
I'm gonna go watch it again.
I know you. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be a thing you pretty much watch.
Yeah, I think there's a few friends who haven't seen it yet, so I'll go watch it with them.
Oh boy.
Have you guys seen it yet? I haven't seen it. Come on, man. I need another hit. Sometimes this happens. I mean, it happened to me with Avengers 1. I watched that movie like 5 times in the theater. So every time a friend didn't watch it, I'm like, let's go watch. That all being said, characterization, all things point to that the movie should be about Mad Max, right? It's not. He's this character that's brought in, and we're like, okay, guys, everyone look, here's Mad Max. And then we move over to Furiosa, who the actual story is about, her and the woman that she's trying to save.
Hence why I say Mad Max is more of a vessel for us to follow him around than he is a active character.
Yeah. And I remember... Now we're going to get into a little bit of a preachy section here, because there was when Mad Max, before it was even released, there was this group of quote-unquote Menonists. I think that's a dumb fucking thing, but these are obviously butthurt gentlemen who never got kissed by a girl that they wanted to kiss, and they feel that everybody owes them something. And what happened is these guys were like, we're not going to watch Mad Max because it's got a feminist agenda and they're taking away our action movies, even though we have 5 million of them and girls only have like maybe 2. They were not going to support this movie. And the great thing I love about this is the way they were describing the movie. A lot of people, there were a lot of Twitter replies saying, oh, I wasn't actually going to watch this because I thought it was just a man action movie, but you've actually made me interested in this, so I'm going to watch it.
That happened. Like, a lot of women suddenly were like, oh, wait, there's a lot of, action, there's, a female action hero star. Yeah. Holy cow, I gotta get on this.
Yeah, it was it makes me wonder if the men in this group wasn't actually an advertising ploy. But, yeah, man, geez, it's so good, because, Furiosa, played by Charlize Theron, or Tehran as we call her back home.
Oh.
Well, she's even adopted Theron. I've seen interviews with her. She's like, yeah, I'm Charlize Theron. I guess you have to. The American audience is bigger than the South African audience. But yeah, I always say this. I've never really been a big fan of her acting. In most of the movies I've seen her in, I'm like, okay.
I don't know who she is.
She's a South African actress.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's from South Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
well, now you just hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, I've never really been a big fan of her acting. There's pretty much hit and miss stuff with her, more miss than hits. And this movie, I really liked her in. She really played a good role. I believed Furiosa. You know, it was like, and then the whole, like, I never saw the feminist agenda in this movie. It was literally, like, only a woman could have, like, we were talking about this yesterday, only a woman could really, I felt, could play Fury. There was no reason, you couldn't put Mad Max in that situation. I can't think of a way to...
I mean, unless if you were to do, like, because usually in these kinds of action films, it's like, you know, I was thinking about it yesterday. It's basically like, especially in the 90s, where the strong female, quote-unquote, strong female lead comes in, and it's like, I'm gonna do the action things, and then suddenly the guy comes in, he's like, no, thanks for loosening up the pickle jar, I'll take it from here, and then, you know, suddenly
It's also usually things like she's gonna do it anyway, and he's obligated to do it because it's like, oh, I can't let her do it by herself.
Yeah.
You know, or, you know, like, oh, it's a friend in need type of thing, or, you know, that wasn't there because the whole time Max is like, I only want to survive. Leave me alone. And
pretty much when he meets them, he's got a gun pointed at all of them.
Yeah.
A bunch of like Furiosa and a bunch of essentially their. I just forgot the word. Hostages. You know, they're being held hostage because in this world, women are degraded to just being breeders. So they want to escape from this world, and they want to go find.
Well, at least in this particular city, like, you know, he finds like strong women, like full lives as they call them, because everybody else only has like a half-life. And it's not the same as the radioactive half-life. I think the idea is like we have become poisoned. Our bones and blood are like not useful anymore, so we die a lot quicker. Yeah,
they say that like the war boys that are too sick to fight. In fact, one of the war boys that follows us throughout the movie is like Nuck or something.
Yeah, he's at the end of his half-life. Yeah, Nux.
Yeah, he's basically got these 2 tumors on his neck that are chewing on his windpipe, as he says. And that's apparently, like, pretty much all these guys, you know, there's another guy that's, like, got staples keeping his face together. I mean, these guys are pretty much beat up. They're disgusting.
Yeah, so it's like the only feminist agenda, and even then it's not, it's still a very patriarchal idea. The only thing that I would see that is there was the attitude of men are there to destroy the world and women are there to revitalize the world. Because I mean, look at the brides. They're all like, trying to, like, one girl doesn't want to kill anybody. Another girl doesn't want to even hold the guns. You know, well, same character, but you know, whereas they meet these older ladies who had their own green place type of thing.
Yeah. And
one lady has like seeds and she loves to plant them, but she explains why she has to, because one of the brides actually says something like, that's an interesting gun you've got there. And she's like, oh yeah, it takes out people real quick. And she's like, oh, we thought you ladies were above all of that. You know, and that's like obviously a jab, because the point there is, men are the killers, women are the breeders type of thing.
Yeah.
And then that old lady actually points and explains why, sort of, and doesn't really explain it fully, but you sort of get what she means. And it's the whole, it separates that I guess delusion that women are the creators and men are the destroyers.
Yeah, because it seems to be that the women from the different tribes, as it were, are basically bred differently. You know, it seems that, like, in every one of these tribes, they all have their own ways of doing things, their own ways of living, giving out resources and breeding, as it were. Like, as it was explained in this film, in this green place where Furiosa is from, it was very different, but she was captured from her home and taken to whatever that place was. What is it called?
I don't know, it's like I just call it the farm, I guess.
Oh, okay.
The main setting.
Yeah.
So it takes, like, all these standard conventions and then it sort of places them on their head. And again, like, and this is not a spoiler either, because this doesn't happen in the movie. Because usually in action movies where there's, like, even where a strong female character is present, her and the male character will fall in love.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in this movie. Max, I was thinking Sam and Max. So Mad Max does not fall in love with Furiosa or vice versa. There's no unrequited love. There's no actual love. It's 2 warriors that fight alongside each other, and then that's that. You know, that's their relationship. They find respect for each other.
Yeah.
It's and that was great to me, because, and I mean, there is a love story with two other characters, but it is thrown to the wayside. It is, oh look, we can have love, I guess, in this crazy wasteland. It kind of would still happen, I suppose, but other than that, don't worry about it. That's not what we're here. Look at the man on the guitar with the flamethrower guitar. That's what we're actually here to see. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. For me, it was, I don't know. For me, the only thing, I don't know. For me, the only real thing about having those women so prominent in the film was that these are the people that want to leave, they want to escape, you know? I mean, I guess you could have probably done it with maybe like the war boys don't want to fight anymore, so they want to escape. But, you know, these are, for all intents and purposes, prisoners in this particular city that they live in. They don't want to be prisoners anymore.
Well, the war boys aren't ever really considered prisoners, right? I mean, they're trained to just be warriors. They're just, as they say, soldier fodder.
Well, I mean, the women in this city are essentially prisoners.
Yeah.
They're there.
It could have easily have been Max's struggle to escape.
Yeah.
You know, which it wasn't. It became about Furiosa and those characters in a Mad Max world, which was fine to me. It didn't feel out of place. Max had appropriate. He had the minimal amount of conversation, really. He grunted most of the time, and then at the end, it's like
10 lines in the entire 2 hours or something.
Yeah, it's like.
And they were very short, like 2-3 word sentences.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things again where just people are projecting and just trying to look for things to hate.
I don't know. It's like, you know, let's put the gender thing aside and let's look at the action of the film.
Yeah,
the action is fantastic. The world is great. The cinematography is great.
But I still believe you couldn't put a male in Furiosa's spot. I don't think so. It's like, because it's a world where survival is key. And even Furiosa, I'm sure there must have been another, like, I think like her plan the entire time was to escape. But in the end, she gets sort of maybe she makes friends with those girls, and she's like, well, since that's what's going to happen, I'm going to take them with me, type of thing. I don't know. There's not enough history there to explain it, but it's for a man to, and again, just sort of guess generalizing here, because I mean, I suppose you could have a homosexual person do this, but it doesn't make sense, because it wouldn't benefit them. This benefits, Furiosa taking these girls to where she wants to take them actually kind of does benefit her. It benefits her and her clan.
Yeah.
Whereas with Max, where would he take them? He has no place to take them. He has no reason to take them anywhere. He wants to get back in his car, and he wants to survive. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And that's what he almost does in the movie several times, where he gets foiled a couple times, and it's...
Yeah, pretty much everyone in this world, they're pretty much out for them. I mean, it's established. They're out for themselves. You have to be in that type of world. Oh, yeah. It's cutthroat, man. It's, you know, so for Max to do what he did completely made sense. Like, everything, I don't know, I don't know. It's like, when you think about they're doing this for themselves, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Except for maybe, like, you know, the granny bikers, as it were.
Yeah.
You know, they want to help out the other characters, but that's about the extent of it. Everyone else is just sort of out for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's nice to see, because Max was definitely, I mean, from Mad Max 1, he was there before all the shit goes down, right? Yeah. I mean, it's all the nuclear blasts start happening, and like, that's his character development in this, from the survivor to the sort of a bit more compassionate human. You know, he sort of grows into that a little bit again. But he's... Actually,
I would argue that Nux had more character development.
Oh, for sure. I'm just saying his character development.
Yeah.
Max's character development was, I'm a survivor. It's like, oh, fuck, I suppose I could maybe help out a bit. All right, here's my idea. Type of thing. That was Mad Max's role. Right? Everybody else, like Nux, yeah, you're right. He had way more conversation. A lot of people I've seen online, like, are really fond of the character.
I can see why, because he
really grew from, because I mean, he was brainwashed, is what he was, and he sort of clicked into place, you know, as the movie goes.
Well, he basically lost. You know, he's talking about Valhalla throughout most of the film, where you know, it's essentially drilled into these war boys' heads that if you sacrifice yourself for my cause, then I will escort you to the gates of Valhalla myself. So says the main war boy. What's his name?
Yeah.
The guy with the mask.
Well, he's not a war boy. He's a warlord.
Warlord.
That was Immortan Joe. Is his name.
Oh yeah. Like basically these guys are ready to throw themselves for.
Yeah, and he knows he's you know it's the typical look. I mean the basics of this movie is old people or young people throwing their lives out for old people. It's that I can't remember where I heard that.
Not even just old people, but like greedy old people.
Yeah, it's the quote from Our Lives Forever. It's where the young and stupid die for the old and bitter.
Yeah.
You know, that's what war is, and that's what this was too. It was these young kids who were like, they believed they were doing this amazing thing, and in the end they're not. They're actually causing strife and pain for everybody else.
Yeah, so like when Nux flubs up his chance to go to the gates of Valhalla, as it were, he just loses everything. Like everything that he's lived for is gone. So I don't know. I can see why people would really like this character, because he has a lot
of development.
Yeah.
So look, honestly, man, this movie, man, you gotta go watch it. I don't care who you are, just go watch it. Just watch it.
Yeah.
I will give it 5 thumbs up. I will cut off 3 people's hands, and I will attach them to myself, and that I can make, and I will like be able to manipulate the thumbs, and then I will give 5 thumbs up from my body.
That's really weird, Wes.
Well, that's how it's going down.
Just as long as it's not my thumbs.
Yeah, I would say I'd give it a definitely go watch. Especially if you're a fan of brilliant color use, amazing cinematography, good sound use. Oh, the sound throughout this movie was just amazing. Not only just the background music, but also the effects of like the cars. Everything was so powerful and loud and inside of you.
It's definitely one of those films that if you haven't seen it in theaters already, go watch it. It's totally worth it.
If you can see it in the theater, I would recommend it. If not, buy a big screen TV, a surround sound system, a D-box chair, and watch it. A Blu-ray player.
Look, this is definitely one of those films. It's totally worth watching in the theater. It's so beautiful. It's so good. It's just aesthetically appealing. Thank you, brain. It's aesthetic. It's really awesome to watch in the theater.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Look at.
I have been binging Your Grammar Sucks for the last like 3 days. So
it's sort of seeping into it. Right.
Pretty much Friday afternoon. I got some revisions from my supervisor, and I was reading it over and over, and I'm like, I can't understand English anymore. It was really bad.
All right, so yeah, that's what I would recommend, and.
Yeah.
I would recommend it too.
Yeah, I was actually really hesitant to see it, but I watched it, and man, I don't regret it. It was a lot of fun. It was so much fun, and like I said, I'm picky about action films.
Sure. Radio, so that's the end of that then, and we don't really have any mail or anything to read, which I'd probably use at the beginning.
I know that from the last review that we did in this one, I finally started my job.
Oh, yes, so... Congratulations.
Yay!
Emily's now an official animator.
Yes. I love my job
if
now.
you guys want to send any messages to me, to us, that you want to ask questions, ask me to review anything in particular, etc., email me at theanonymousanimators@gmail.com, and our Tumblr is anonymators.tumblr.com.
Yay.
You can just send an ask there, maybe. Hooray.
Yeah,
right.
So let us know what to review. Let us know if you've got any animation friends or animator friends that you want to interview. Man, whatever, man. We're lonely. Please email us.
Cheerio, folks. Until next time.
Bye.